Hello and a warm welcome to your one-stop weekly entertainment news portal right here on the SABC News channel. This is of course Trendz every week when the clock strikes 12 midday with me, Refill Wimwilwa. Don't forget we're on Trendz, we're on Twitter at Trendz on SABC, and there is plenty to say and to be said today, so please do engage with us. I have a stellar lineup today and performances from some of Mzansi's A-list of trendsetters in the industry, so do stick around. In our first story, South African cinema continues to do us proud. The latest in the pack is All About Love, directed by the prolific, amazing director Adze Uga. It's shot in the vibrant city of Johannesburg and it opened at cinemas this week. The movie explores the interesting, bittersweet, sometimes difficult, but always instructive journey of the heart. And Trendz attended the premiere. Have a look.
Dozens were out on the town to check out the brand new offering from South Africa's film industry. Featuring an all-star cast with Nomzamo Mbata, Katlego Danke and Zinande Mfanyana, All About Love follows these three women through their trials and tribulations of love.
My character is more of a girl next door type of down-to-earth, sweet girl that you just wanna, you'd like her, you know what I'm saying? It's somebody everybody knows. And I think we just go on this interesting discovery of love.
The film has been described as a bringing together of Africans, as the film features actors from various parts of Africa. Enyina Ngwigwe from Nigeria, Chris Atto from Ghana, and Leroy Gopal from Zimbabwe.
It's not an entirely South African cast, not an entirely Nigerian cast or a Zimbabwean cast. He's taken people from across the continent and put them in one film. So we got people from Nigeria, we got guys from Zimbabwe, all the beautiful ladies from South Africa, you know, which is why I think everyone should go and watch it, because I think this is such a good trendsetter in terms of filmmaking and what kind of direction we want to go.
Directed by Nigerian-born Adze Uga, the film takes you on a journey of exploration. Though it has been highly criticized for having a similar storyline to that of other recent South African releases.
The good thing about the story is we can see reality, we can feel, and that's one thing that most of the people who saw the movie during the competition for Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Award by Mnet and MultiChoice saw and said it deserves a win for Best Movie for Southern Africa because of the originality and the reality. If you watch the movie, you can relate to things that have happened to you, not anybody, but you.
Catch the film at various Tekiniko cinema outlets across the country from April 21st, 2017.
Looks like a great film indeed. And so this week as well, nominees for South Africa's biggest awards, the South African Music Awards, were announced at a gala dinner held at the Destiny Exclusive Hotel in Kempton Park, east of Johannesburg. And this is the year of the newcomers who dominated the list of nominees, making great strides in the music industry. 3 categories have been added for the Summer 23, and they are Best African Indigenous Gospel Album, Clap and Tap Zion Music, and Best Africa Artist Album, as well as Best Africa Pop. I must also mention Sifiso Ngwane's nomination for his album, So Befitting, for a gospel giant who was sadly gone too soon, and just yesterday he would have turned 38 years old.
Rap wonder kid Nasty C leads the Summer 23 pack with the most nominations. The rapper got 6 nods. He was nominated in the categories for the Best Newcomer, Best Male Artist, Best Rap Album, amongst others. Hot on the heels of 20-year-old Nasty C is Questa with 5 nods for Best Rap Album, Best Male Album, Album of the Year, and 2 nominations in the Best Collaboration category. Meanwhile, Afropop sensation Amanda Black got 4 nominations, including Album of the Year, while Babes Wodumo got 3 nominations for her album Gom Queen Volume 1. In the Best Female Artist of the Year, Kelly Khumalo takes on Thandiso Mazwai, Lebo Sukhobela, Babes Wodumo, and Amanda Black. The coveted Best Album of the Year is a mashup of genres that will see established names square off against newcomers. It remains to be seen who will be crowned winner at the glittering Summer 23 ceremony to be held in Sun City on May 27th.
Still on music, a festival that is celebrating 2 decades of brilliance. The 2017 Standard Bank Joy of Jazz marks the 20th anniversary of a leading brand on South Africa's music and festival calendar. Now, to celebrate the auspicious event, a legion of international giants and luminaries of the jazz world, as well as leading lines of South African jazz musicians, will be in Johannesburg to celebrate the momentous event at the Sandton Convention Centre for 3 days, from September 28th to the 30th. Now, the star-studded lineup was announced this week, and I'm now joined in studio by Sis Mantwa Chinwamadi to tell us more. How are you, Ma?
I'm fine, and you?
So September is still far, but the lineup is so amazing.
I know.
Oh my gosh, congratulations first of all.
Thank you
20
so much.
years.
Yes.
Jeez.
20 years.
So tell us, what can people expect from, the 20th anniversary of the Joy of Jazz? It's going to be big.
Wow, it has to be.
Yeah.
20 years, even in a life, is that year that marks that you are now an adult.
Yeah.
You are entering a space where you just have to show off.
That's right.
And do good.
I like
do
that.
Excellent,
Show off.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so from all over the world, the first name that popped out to me was Salif Keita. I'm like,
know.
oh my gosh, is this for
I
real?
know.
Yeah.
What we did is we looked at all the icons in Africa.
Yeah.
We thought Salif, we thought Huma Sekela, we
Yes.
thought Abdullah Ibrahim,
Awesome.
Jonas Gwangwa,
Yeah.
Brakeifa Semenya, and we said Tsepo Tola from Lesotho,
My
and we said
gosh.
if we have the visitors
Yes.
hosted
Yeah.
at the Joy of Jazz by these African stars.
That's amazing. And of
What
course,
else?
the younger counterparts as well. I saw the
Exactly.
likes of Malaya on the program.
Exactly.
It is going to be amazing. Year after year, though, what is it that you take from the festival to say, how do we better ourselves? This is 20 years. As you say, you guys are showing off this year. The lineup already proves that. But what is it that you can tell us of, the behind-the-scenes, machine that makes this come together?
I tell people every day that producing a festival, especially a music festival, you just have to have an ear. Listen to the people that buy tickets. Listen to the supporters of the festival. Listen to an ordinary person that has seen Joy of Jazz and feel like, but if Joy of Jazz can actually bring Brentford Marsalis, if they trust our stages with the artists that they love and go to an extent of asking, can we? We have social media pages where people just post.
Sure.
We compile all those and said, okay, this name came about so many
Listen
names.
to what the people want.
Exactly.
That's exactly it. Oh my gosh. And I mean, who are you looking forward to? You've mentioned so many great names. It's 3 days. Do you sleep? As the producer, and you are behind the scenes,
After
and
the
you're
festival,
also
for a week, yes.
for a week
Yeah.
afterwards.
Just after the festival,
Okay.
we rest. Then we start again, compiling for the next year.
Absolutely amazing. And so for social media, tickets, where can people, go for information? And are there early bird tickets already on sale? What's going on?
Tickets are already on sale at CompuTicket.
Moving
and yes,
very
we
quickly.
do have social media. It's SBJOJ, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
SBJOJ with 2017 or without?
Without 2017.
Okay.
And we also have an app, a festival app that people can download.
Awesome.
That will keep you updated
Awesome.
on everything that's happening.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Sis Mantwa. This year it's September 28th until the 30th.
Until the 30th.
It's going to be amazing. It will be sort of, springtime after winter and everything. So it's going to be amazing. The lineup looks absolutely, great.
Thank
And
you.
so we will see you there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we are off to an ad break now. Please do join us after this. You are still watching Trendz.
We do not just speak. We let every voice in our nation find full expression in language and in culture. We do not just teach. We empower all people with education. We do not just bring you the news. We place you where the news is happening. We do not just entertain. We take you on journeys. We do not just broadcast sport. We create an arena for sporting heroes to inspire you. Ours is not just a job, it's a calling to ensure that everyone in our nation is informed, educated, and entertained. We're able to do this because you do your part. SABC TV licenses. It's all made possible by you.
Welcome back, you're still watching Trends. So from glossy, radiant skin to dramatic color-blocking eye color, the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week's runway showcased the hottest beauty trends of the season. But what we want to reveal now is the other side to it all to better your appreciation of all it takes to put events like this together. So let's take you backstage to see some of the madness behind the scenes of putting together the perfect look for the catwalk. This is from day 2 of the recent Fashion Week. I hope everyone is dressed. Are they? Let's see.
It's day 2 of Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week Cape Town 2017, and we are backstage, and we are giving you an all-access pass when it comes to top trends, tricks, and tips for hair and makeup.
From the vintage-inspired Great Gatsby makeup and hair by Amy Yomepe to rock chic at Kateria and George Catwalk, one can safely say life is more beautiful when you have the right hairdresser. Healthy, fresh skin has been trending for seasons, but the 2017 autumn-winter has taken on an almost hyper-real radiance look at some of the runways, while sleek hair, ponytail and loose strands were trending this season.
We've got a lot going on this season. I think that the trends have been split more into 2 kind of ideas. So we're seeing one that's very structured and we're calling that strict. And we're seeing something else which is a little bit more, like individualized, and we're calling that loose. But we're seeing a focus on lips, a lot of dark lips. But I think the idea behind it is very much makeup as embellishment. So, in the way that you would have a wardrobe to dress, it's the same with makeup. It's not that you're just going to have one look for the season. It's about reflecting your personality. And I think for AFI specifically, it's about reflecting our African heritage and our culture as well.
This year, what we see a lot of in trends is, like I said, hair pushed to the extreme, but hair all sort of combed to one side. A lot of it happening all on the one side, detail on the one side. So you have elements of romance, you have elements of strict and precision hair, strict, sleek ponytails, but then suddenly there's also a bit of disconnection. So you'll have something sleek with a surprise of a little bit of a texture coming through.
Designers have some say in the makeup and hair that appears in their shows, but the credit is mostly due to the masterminds who work backstage, to all the models properly made up before they go in front of the camera.
When we look at the designer wear and the type of models and the different looks and what the designer wants to say with his collection, we go to the drawing board, we sit down and we actually create styles, and then we show our ideas to the designer that matches with his ideas. And when he's happy and we are happy and we really feel that it will do our brand GHD good, then we create that look for all the models.
For me, it's about the collaboration and the designer's vision and bringing that to life. So between the producer, the hair, the makeup, we all work together to create something that is fluid, that really represents the designer's vision, and their inspiration is usually my first point for inspiration for makeup when it comes to that.
When all the hairspray, glitter, bold lips and eyeliner have all been incorporated, then it's time to rock the runway for the opening of day 2 of the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, where the township duo Kateria and George showcased their designs. 8 years in the world of fashion, and every day is a journey filled with lessons, learning and endless possibilities. Their visions for their latest collection is an empowerment of any woman facing darkness.
We design according to the mood and how we feel at that time. And I think with this one, it was more of...
we went through a feeling.
We
are like 3 years old in the fashion industry, and we came up with so much, havoc that people didn't really expect much.
Yeah.
So we felt like we are the outcast in the industry. And a lot of people trying to block you away, but I have him as my business partner, as a brother, and we have each other to exactly.
Inspired by the film Black Swan, the collection touches on the emotions the duo encounter on a daily basis in an industry fueled by love and hate.
The hostility in the fashion industry, and for us to interpret that is through the garments and the silhouette, and specifically the swan, because the swan is such a beautiful bird, you know, and for us it was really putting emphasis on the silhouette of the swan and really sort of interpreting that into modern day issues that we go through between me and George. You know, I mean, the industry is not that friendly. We're not apologetic, and we don't want favors from anybody. But I think for us it is very important that a silhouette and a design, be wherever and whoever that you are and where you come from, that if you're creative, the creativity needs to come. Exactly. And people need to nurture it. Absolutely. And people need to accept that there is change. Exactly. And young designers, there's plenty young designers like me and George. I think that South Africa's got the most talented designers.
With their greatest fashion icons being Alexander McQueen and Oscar de la Renta, the sky is the limit for these boys.
Paris, Milan, Tokyo, all over the world. That's how we want to position the brand Kitera and George.
Nice one, and congratulations to the guys. They're doing amazing, amazing work. That's Kateria and George. Now, if you think stand-up comedy is an easy task, then wait until you get in front of an audience that might not even laugh. I'm pretty sure it's happened to at least all comedians once in their lifetime. And Samoka hosted a stand-up comedy night at the Fire and Ice Hotel at Melrose Arch last night. Now, the show was headlined by Skalk Bezuidenhout and Glenn Burderman Pam. Okay, that's a bit of a tongue twister. But anyway, take a look.
This comedy night session hosted by comedian Samuka turned out to be a crowd puller. In this case, shows are hosted between Men Lane, Melrose Arch and sometimes in Cape Town with the aim of providing a platform to emerging as well as established comedians to showcase their craft from city to city. Themed The Man in the Mirror, this show was headlined by Skalk Bezuidenhout and Glenn Biderman, and this is the brainchild of Mo Sam Kadi, who is the founder of Samuka.
Comedy is obviously a universal language. Everybody likes comedy. It's about entertainment, it's about entertaining people, and it's something that I love doing. Producing comedy, not performing, obviously. My focus has been more on the premier sort of entertainment scene. So although I do have other platforms where I try to give the new guys an opportunity, my platform is more for the premier acts, if you can call it that. I don't know if that's a word. And yeah, it's more intimate events, small events, not really that big.
emceed by upcoming comedian Bongani Dube, he couldn't hold his excitement to have been part of this event. He says being a comedian is not an easy task.
Before going on stage, it's the worst feeling ever. Like you just no, I'm so nervous, I'm scared, and then you have to go take a quick little personal break. But then once you get that part and you walk onto the stage, once the first joke lands and the people give you like, ha, hey, I think we like you, and then it's beautiful from there. But it's nerve-wracking. It's the scariest thing ever. I just enjoy making people laugh. That's the key. That's the key element that drives me forward. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It started off as a defense mechanism, you know what I mean? Because like bullies will come up to me like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm like, let me tell you a joke first, and they'll laugh and I can't beat this guy up. He's funny, and they'll grab me and it hurts. But like, yeah, that's where it started, and then eventually I was like, you know what? Maybe I can take this on stage, and I just did, and it's just been blowing up ever since.
For any person who goes to a stand-up comedy show, it is probable to have a good time, laugh. But if you are the guy on stage, the perspective is different sometimes. Skalk Bezuidenhout and Glenn Biderman Pam tell us about how it is like for them to be the guy on stage and where it all began for them.
I started doing comedy in 2011. I went to go study drama at UCT. I didn't actually get into the course. The first time I auditioned for it, I think they only take like 30 a year. And I did a BA in my first year, and it wasn't a lot of practical. The bit of practical that we did have, you had to pretend to be like fire and ice and water. And I wanted to get on stage and I wanted to perform, and I mean, it's a bit harder to do that as an actor. You can't just walk into any play and be like, put me in your play. So I I got into stand-up.
I try and tell my own story because no one's story is my story. Every comedian has had that. We call it dying on stage. And if you haven't, then you're pretty special, but I haven't heard of any comedians who haven't had that experience. And you just got to you got to learn from it, you know? You got to go, okay, well, maybe those were the wrong jokes for that crowd. Maybe that joke just doesn't work, you know? Maybe give it a bash 1 or 2 more times. Don't forget about it yet. Work on it. But you got to have a really thick skin. But that comes again from the acting and going like, I'm auditioning for roles, you know, every week, 2 or 3 times a week. You get used to rejection.
Another show will be held tonight at Men Lane Fire and Ice Hotel.
Okay, and so something that my next guest has just let me know is that it's actually Skalk's birthday today. So to him and Joey Rasdeen, happy birthday. And so this coming week, we're still on the comedy scene, and comedy lovers are in for a week of side-splitting laughter and pseudo six-packs. So the Goliath Comedy Club at Melrose Arch is pulling out all the stops after a year of massive entrepreneurial growth, even bigger laughs, and a unique comedy experience with decadent dining courtesy of the adjoining Roast Cafe to celebrate their first anniversary. Now, it was all a dream, a late night chat between Jason, Donovan and Nicholas sitting in a car eating junk food after a gig, and well, look at them now. South Africa's very own comedy cartel is in business, and I do have Jason Goliath joining me today. Welcome.
Thank you. What a beautiful and eloquent introduction. I don't think...
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, comedy cartel.
Yeah, so I can do that, but I can't go up on a stage.
I believe in you, though. I feel like with a little bit of coaching, you could be there.
How are you, man? As you said, you were also at the event last night with Skalk and them. So
well,
you guys...
I wasn't at their show, but they had it in the same precinct. So they were at Melrose, at Fire and Ice at Melrose, and my comedy club,
So you were with the gang.
But they had the after party with us.
Yeah.
Because Joey was at the club. And we had a great time. So,
it was just crazy.
It was so good. Just legends of the game in one space.
But how do you guys? I mean, as I just said, you guys and the comedy club is a year old. Teeny tiny baby.
It flew.
What you guys have done and how you've changed the scene, and you've fused so many things together, but it's worked.
Yes.
So kudos to you guys.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
But tell us about next week. It's absolutely amazing.
So there's so many exciting things happening. Firstly, I think the most important part for us is celebrating 1 year of the Goliath Comedy Club. And we celebrate that year with the Goliath Comedy Experience, which is our annual festival. And we've got 6 shows and 60 comedians over 6 days, which is we just wanted to bless, Johannesburg with the most ridiculous comedy ever.
Like I said, people will leave thinking they have 6 packs, so it's fun.
100%.
Pseudo 6 packs, and they will laugh.
Not even pseudo. Not even pseudo. You'll believe in yourself and you'll have the real pa. Even if it's my size, you still have it. But I think the most important thing for us, through our journey has not only been to kind of groom talent and give experienced talent platforms, but I think it's also been to educate audiences on the different varieties and genres
and
of
there
comedy.
really is something for everyone.
And that's the point. So I think that a lot of, I always say this, but we love Trevor. Trevor Noah is our hero. He's the guy that kind of sets the benchmark, that creates possibilities. But the other thing that Trevor's done is he's given a lot of South Africans only one side of comedy.
Right.
So because most South Africans have only had access to Trevor from a local standpoint, they think that is comedy, whereas Trevor is just a genre.
Right.
So there's a whole lot of different styles and types of comedy. And I think that we've tried to kind of showcase that so that we really have something for all the appetites across the board. So we start off on Monday night with a show called Next Generation.
Okay.
And Next Generation comedians is the guys that we believe are just below the headline spots, the guys that you probably haven't seen yet from a media point of view.
Give a name or two that you think.
So you've got people like Gilly Apter. For me, there's a young girl, Isabella Jane, who has she's a ventriloquist. Until now, we've only had one decent ventriloquist, which is Conrad Koch.
Yeah,
she's 18 years old, an
Really?
18-year-old little girl that sings and does comedy with a puppet. And when you see it, it's just the most entertaining thing. So there's and Glenn Beadham and Pam actually hosted that show you just spoke about earlier. So that's on Monday night.
Right.
On Tuesday night we've got Old School, because you must remember the legends. So we've got, if you remember, the Ronnie Modimolas.
Oh my gosh!
From Pure Monati days.
Yes.
So Ronnie Modimola, Joe Parker, Al Prodgers is on that show. Mark Banks is on that show, and we haven't advertised it, but I'll be hosting that show, so I'm super excited to be rubbing shoulders with the legends. performance.
Nice.
Then Wednesday, full-blown overdose.
Yeah, Wednesday is crazy.
30 in 5. So we normally do a 20 in 5 concept once a month, but because it's a festival, 30 comedians, each doing 5 minutes.
30 in 5.
So the way it works is no host. You got 30 comics, each doing 5 minutes. Each comic introduces the next.
Right.
And it is the most rock and roll comedy you have ever seen. Thursday show is the big one for us.
Thursday's a big one. That's Freedom Day.
And it's also the first time we're doing a collaboration between Goliath and Goliath with Donovan Nicholas and myself and Twins on Decks.
Yeah.
So it's Def Comedy Jam style, hardcore, big party. That's going to be crazy. And then the headliners on Friday and Saturday. I mean,
is that hosted by Toles Mo?
Toles Mo. Okay. Joey Rasdin is hosting both nights. Nice. You've got John Vlismus on there. Mark Lottering is flying up from Cape Town. So go to GoliathComedyClub.com and just trust me, book your tickets because they
go very quickly.
From Thursday, Friday, Saturday already almost all sold out.
Oh my goodness!
Get your tickets in. Old School is going to be. I mean, there really is
every
just something
single
for everybody.
day. There is something
and it's
for everyone.
It's a celebration of stand-up comedy.
Oh
That's what
my
it is.
gosh! Yeah, we all just need to go and celebrate and laugh. Goodness knows we have so much going on in that country.
And come and celebrate with your money because Melrose Arch rent is also killing us. Sometimes we must be very honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just come and support.
You've been advising me to just go into debt and just borrow.
Just do that thing. There's those ads with that slider, short-term loan, payback in 30 days.
I must just be there.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm telling you, if you go to your granny and say, Gogo, please, 150, Gogo,
just
please.
150, 200.
Don't check in the ashtray, check in between the seats, under the couches. 100, you come off. So tickets from 150 Rand.
Will do.
Monday to Saturday. Come through.
It's going to be an amazing time.
60 comedians.
Thank you so very much, Jason, for joining me here today. Look forward to seeing you and all the other,
Say GoliathComedyClub.com because you're
GoliathComedyClub.com. .com.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure of
that. Go there now.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing jump off. Okay, we're going to an ad break, and when we return, we have an amazing performance. It's all about lifestyle.
This is a brand new Rowdy. Your boy Elias, Gemini Major, we doing lifestyle. The mic stand way. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, sing. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. She told me she loving my lifestyle. I'm young and I'm living my life now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle is a vibe now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. She told me she loving my lifestyle. I'm young and I'm living my life now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle is a vibe now. I'm not trees, but my roll up the J. Float power from London. Yeah, mess around with that thunder. Yeah. Somebody should have told you when they show up, it is popping up like a hunger. You know it. Hillside, yeah, I'm in the track. Russell Mayer when I'm in the car. That is me calling my name. Whoa. Parties all over the bay. Got money all up in the bank. And money busting out the safe. From getting checks in the envelope to doing shows all over the globe. Whoa. It's feeling like a dime a dozen. No, we never stop for nothing. I'm in the lobby with the groupies. Already cheating on my newbies. Whoa. I'm making hits on the daily. My credits looking like the end of a movie. Oh no, just bought a new crib for my mama now. Oh no, cause we started from the bottom now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. She told me she loving my lifestyle. I'm young and I'm living my life now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle is a vibe now. Whoa. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. She told me she loving my lifestyle. I'm young and I'm living my life now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle is a vibe now. Whoa. Smoke on the game. I'm higher than all of my lane. Moving all over the pain. Cause they end up with a K. Whoa. Missing the cause is my man. Just take a look at that old. She falling in love with my bags. The Gucci all over the pants. I got honey, see my bags. I have bags, make a dance. That's right. If you want to shorty, tell me in the back. Go and tell her, go and tell her. I only want to smash it, no romance. Said no romance, no romance. Whoa, yeah. Go y'all bring endless. Got your girlfriend in this. She know I'm a savage, relentless. Cause I go hard with the business. I got picture on in the instant. The keep it going for my distance. You let her say my name, don't mention. Cause I'ma have you bad like a pension.
Rocka went viral. Money done follow. Looking fresher than my idol. Lifestyle on the high now. Oh no,
just bought a new crib for my mama now.
Oh no,
cause we started from the bottom now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now.
Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the
high now. She told me she loving my lifestyle. I'm young and I'm living my life now.
Lifestyle,
yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle.
Everybody let's go. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle on the high now.
She told me she loving my lifestyle. I'm young and I'm living my life now. Lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle, yeah, my lifestyle is a vibe now.
Nice one in studio. It's all about lifestyle, and I'm about to talk to Elias and Nyanga just now. Now, an upcoming film going in style tells of 3 lifelong buddies who decide to buck retirement and step off the straight and narrow for the first time in their lives when their pension fund becomes a corporate casualty. Now, desperate to pay their bills and come through for their loved ones, the 3 risk it all by embarking on a daring bid to knock off the very bank that absconded with their money. Oh my word. We have a giveaway again this week, so do pay attention to this next insert.
I'm thinking of robbing a bank.
Oh, I'm thinking about buying a Ferrari. I just got drafted by the Knicks.
It's 3 of the great living actors of our time together in a buddy heist movie.
You know, you got co-stars with Morgan Freeman and Alan Arkin. Just how good can it get?
You know, it's one of the situations where you get to work with people whose work you really enjoy watching. They're both consummate professionals. They can make anything work.
Sometimes if I don't yell cut, they just, in character, keep going with the scene, which is great because they're so funny.
We're just 3 old guys, and the plant that we've been working for is closing and moving, and we lose our pension.
I go to the bank because they're going to foreclose on my flat. While I'm at the bank, there's a robbery, and I get the idea that I'll get the money to pay the mortgage by robbing the bank. These banks destroyed this country, and nothing ever happened to them.
I want to rob that bank.
Let's go get our money back. Yeah.
Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, this is their 6th film together. So they already have this banter, but Alan fell right into it.
My face is killing me. I never had a smile so much in my life.
He's a fabulous actor, the real New York take on stuff, you know. And he comes out of left field all the time. And whatever he does is better than what you thought it was going to be.
From now on, you communicate by text. How do you work without buttons?
It's a touch screen.
I'm groping it all over, nothing happens.
Alan has seen do a lot of comedy. It's fun to see Morgan doing comedy because he hasn't done it a ton.
This is the best weed in Brooklyn. Man, that's like a pillow. Yeah, but it's a pillow you can smoke.
Most dramatic actors are comedians at heart. We're all trying to get a laugh.
You got any snacks?
I think I'll get a prescription for this.
Welcome to Value. Hello, Al. What are you shopping for?
The supporting cast is incredible. And Margaret, she's stunning.
My name in this movie is Annie Santori, and I have a crush on this one.
We end up with a relationship that I didn't want, and I don't know how.
These are breasts, and breasts are better than thighs, don't you think?
Zach Braff is a brilliant comedy director.
He's quick and knows what movie he wants to make.
He just understands comedy.
You know how to handle a gun? I served my country. He was in the Peace Corps. We pick exactly what's on the pension, right? What if we get more?
We give it to charity.
It's time for a practice run.
We'll be right back.
I don't want to stay in the car. It's hot in here.
It's so interesting watching these scenes come to life because they all are such wonderful actors and have found such distinct, unique characteristics.
I got a new getaway car. Jump in the basket.
Who the hell do you think I am? E.T.?
I love all 3 of these actors. I love a good heist movie, and you're watching 3 of the greats work together, which is really, really fun to watch on screen.
I think we can make the light.
No, you can't make the light.
We can make the light.
Don't make me tell you. This is not an admission of guilt. I'm just tired.
So the film comes out on the 26th of April, and I'm definitely going to catch these industry veterans in action. We are having a giveaway with hampers worth 1,800 Rand each. My goodness. So do tell us the names of the 3 characters played by Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin. Tweet your answer to @Trendz on SABC. Now, I'm sitting here with the guys who've just performed a crazy trick. I won't even talk about the video, but I'm sitting here with Leslie Jonathan Mambe. If you didn't know who that is, that's Delez, and he has a new strategy that he's come up with to ensure that he stays being the it guy in the hip-hop industry. He's joined forces with Gemini Major, there was kind of some reshuffling, and he kind of left Family Tree about a month ago to start his own label called Rude Boy Major. Now, the new staple of collaborated efforts from Fresh to Deaf Records and Rude Boy Major has collaborative efforts with the hip-hop artist, also younger, who's in studio and is going to perform, and DJ Double D and Gabby Da Silva. I hope I'm saying everybody's names right, guys. And they have dropped an album. It's called F2D Hall of Fame. I'm with these guys, and lifestyle hitmakers, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for that performance. It's a lifestyle thing and a whole vibe. You know what I mean? Doing it. Nice one, guys. So let's talk about the track first of all. Les, King of the North.
Look, it's pretty simple. You know, Gemini and I, we were in studio. It's crazy, you know, and he just so happened to be in the studio, and we were together, of course, and he just played this beat, and it literally just came. It just came naturally. It was very organic. It's just lifestyle. It was just on a repetitive vibe. And it wasn't anything that, we could have written down. As soon as we felt...
It's a fun thing. You just go with the flow.
Exactly. So as soon as we felt it, we went into the studio, went into the booth, and we recorded it.
Nice. Gemini, now, up until now, you've been mostly on the production side.
Yeah.
So this is sort of kind of, literally your intro on some, this is me and this is what I'm about.
Yeah.
And you guys came up with a banger of a track. Congratulations. It's done so incredibly well. Now, let's talk then about fusing, because you all 3 have your own record labels, and congratulations for that, because nowadays I think that is the whole thing, to say, listen, own your work, be the guy who's actually a business person as well as an artist. You know what I mean? It's so very important. So let's talk about your label, Rude Boy Major. Am I correct?
Yes.
And you fused then with Les and Yanga.
Yes.
Cool. Tell us more.
Oh well, I just wanted, to as most artists, they want to do this like after 5-6 years and all of that.
And you're like, why wait?
I was like, why wait? Let me try and grow with it. As I'm growing as an artist, as a brand, I should also grow as a business.
Okay.
So I wanted to start it early and learn, and make mistakes and
sure, and get better as time goes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you guys are just having fun, though. It's not work.
Definitely.
Clearly.
No, it is. I mean, it is work. We've just done the second show of our tour. It's
Tell us about that tour. You're going all over.
I think it's about like a 15-city tour.
Nice.
Over the space of like a month and a half.
Jeez.
So it's literally back-to-back venues and back-to-back cities. And I just think for us, what's important is just to get to the places that we don't usually go to.
Yeah.
To see the people that we don't usually get to see.
Yeah.
And obviously to promote our music. F2D Hall of Fame, like you said, it fuses a lot of sounds. Gemini being from Malawi, he's got like a really wonderful African Afrobeat sound. Yanga, who's from Queenstown, has a very raw, very, very hard South African sound.
Nice.
Obviously, I'm from the north, so my sounds are more flashier.
Elias, I'm also from the north.
Yeah, nice.
I
like you already. That way. So,
no, that's cool, guys.
Yeah. So
and that's the thing, that fusion. And so the crazy thing, I mean, Elias, when we were introduced to you with Motherland Crunk way back in the days, what do you say when you look now? Because, I mean, it's sort of like you guys have always been about this. And we know that Africa is the greatest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you have French Montana and them, and they're doing the whole vibe, your ditties, and you've been doing this, So it's amazing, though, to know that you guys were actually the pioneers, not them.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can confidently say we definitely are the pioneers. But, I just think to still be here after 10 years, the next 10 years is so much more exciting. Rude Boy Major is a stable where he can also house artists from Malawi.
Nice.
He can introduce artists from where he's from to us,
And we are stronger as, when we unite with all the other artists on the continent.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah. No, nice one, guys. So information about your Hall of Fame, Fresh to Deaf. Who else is on the project?
Who do we got? I mean, it's just usually it's just us. Right?
Yeah, we've got Mosley also.
Yeah, we've got Mosley on there.
We've got Mags. Was it Mags?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Mugs on there.
We've got El Tito on it.
Yeah, we got El Tito. Sorry, I just can't think right now. I'm just but I mean, it is mostly just us. You know, we just want to
putting
kind of
ourselves out and saying this is who we are. We're old but new on the scene, and this is what we're all about right now.
Exactly.
And after this, what's the plans for you individually? I mean, you're growing the company.
Yeah, I've got a new album coming up.
His debut album.
I'm gonna drop it sometime in June. You know, it's my first debut album, so I'm really excited. You know.
And we're performing in Malawi. We're launching this album back home in Malawi. It's gonna be crazy. So it's like a big homecoming for him.
Fantastic.
Youngest dropping his album. I'm sure you'll be able to speak to him about that. I'm dropping another album. And that's 10 years in the industry for me.
Jeez.
So we marking.
It's gone by quickly though,
It's
hey?
gone
10
by,
years.
Yeah.
And you've actually done a lot,
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're doing a big Northgard concert towards the end of the year. And just, you know,
they
just
mustn't
going
shut you
down
down,
memory lane.
these guys. When you want to do your party, man, stop these tendencies. You
That's
know
why
what I
we're
mean?
on TV, man. You know what I mean? Just stop it.
guys.
Stop hating. It's the wrong way.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so very much, guys. It's been awesome having you in studio. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
with bringing your vibe and your lifestyle. Look forward to seeing Yanga a little bit later on in the show. And that's it from LES as well as Gemini Major doing some big things. They have released their mixtape. Mixtape?
It's an album.
It's an album. All right. And it's called Hall of Fame. Now, we are going to an ad break. Please stick with us. We're back shortly. Welcome back. You're watching Trendz. Now, a South African event that doubles up in attendance every single year from the years before. Back to the City is back again for the 11th annual celebration of all things hip-hop taking place on Freedom Day. That's April 27th. Now, every aspect of hip-hop culture will be on display on the day, such as dancing, DJing, graffitiing, MCing, beatboxing, skateboarding, and. Now, there's also a hot competition, a battle of the bands where 30,000 Rand is up for grabs. I'm now joined by founder of the festival, Osmic Minwe. Welcome to studio again.
Oh, thank you for having me again.
11 years in the game.
11 years of stress.
Hats off to you. You're putting together and doing an amazing job. I mean, year after year, the success of Back to the City. And what do you attribute that to, do you think?
I think it's passion.
Okay.
One. And I think also just the need to fill a gap, because for the longest of time, obviously, something of that nature didn't exist.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it just made the utmost sense to gather the troops and together the like-minded heads and to also find a way to kind of, uplift each other.
Nice.
And especially because the day is about Freedom Day, most importantly.
Okay, and I like that. And so there's a chant song. Amazing. I mean, I saw that, and the graphic is so dope. I saw that with the Yanga, Madiba, and Khashani there. Tell us about that. And what's this chant song about?
Well, look, every year we obviously theme the festival. So this year the theme was Cry Freedom. And it's Cry Freedom because obviously looking at what the day represents, one, and also looking at the current situation, especially involving us, the youth, And when I say youth, I'm talking outright, black-colored, whatever it is, because, we're at a point where we've got degrees, we've got jobs, but we can't afford anything, we can't do anything, Opportunities keep kind of going past us. And
we need to
but
get
we've got
back
freedom.
to the why.
You know
So there's something.
We've got this freedom. And we keep crying. You know what I'm saying? Hence, obviously looking at that. And obviously with the imagery as well, it's literally all the people that have gotten us to this point. Of this thing called freedom.
And that's the thing. It's not all just about, it being a big party and, it's a jump off.
True.
We need to, be cognizant of the fact that we are here and we have these opportunities and platforms to have these conversations because of the guys who've come before us. Amazing. And so many competitions. There's the Power Play Challenge. There's the 30,000 Rand Battle of the Bands. Tell people, can they still enter? Or
well, obviously everything is closed. It's super late. But, I mean, obviously, the different elements within the festival, once again, the aim is always to give that platform for the next superstar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've got a cool thing called the Power Hour where we've got a Pretty Ugly, a Tweezy, a Maraza, and Aries, you know, because these are the guys that are soon to blow.
Sure.
But the idea or the trick is to see how does the festival actually take them to that level. Even if you look at the Power Play 10K challenge, it's the same thing as, you know, the up-and-comer guy who's there, he's got a crowd of a good 4,000 people on the second stage.
Yeah.
You know, he wins. The following year, he gets to be on the main stage.
Right,
you know,
right. Okay, so you kind of, okay.
It's a circle.
Nice one, nice one.
And it all starts from, obviously, with the summit. Comes in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning at Museum Africa. We've got the Hip Hop Summit, where we've got very super cool guests this year.
Geez, yeah, like you pulled out the stops. Last year I thought you did the 10 years, and this year you have Capadonna, Wu-Tang Clan, remember?
You know,
like, people don't understand, right? I was just thinking when I saw that, I mean, the early 90s, and even that time where there was the likes of your KRS-One and, you know, your Capadonnas and Wu-Tang and so many amazing members of that time. And I think where people sometimes think, I mean, many people, whatever generation, they think, these hip-hop guys are just making noise. But people need to listen to what they're saying. Because they might come off and say it in an aggressive way or look, you know, not so pretty. But it's not about that. Listen to what they say. And it's still so relevant till today.
No, true.
So, you know, what's his take? I mean, I'm sure you've had interactions with Capadonna. What's his take on, you know, the South African hip-hop guys and just the scene out here in Africa?
Look, I mean, the whole idea of bringing these sort of guys, I mean, you'll see, once again, going back to competitions, which ties in, we've got something called Jump On that's sponsored by Sprite. So the idea, once again, is how do we start creating these bridges? Because for the longest of time, we'd bring all these American rappers and they get here, they rap, they take the money and they go. But now that has stopped because we're saying, we need you to be here and we need you to start incubating people. You need to start making songs with some of the local guys. You need to come speak at the summit. You need to, so that they can also get an understanding and an idea of exactly what the landscape looks like, so that in X amount of time, when we also start shipping some of our talent to the States, they can get to understand a little bit what's happening, you know. Hence things like the Hip Hop Summit, where those sort of guys will speaking. We've got a big representative from Def Jam, who's head Radio A&R, who's going to be present. You know, so we've got all these different mixtures of people, all with an understanding of nurturing this young talent and actually, you know, parting knowledge.
And history. I mean, there's so much history.
Very much
musical
important.
History, social history, political history, you know, that's going on in everybody's minds. And they are actually just, artists putting down on paper and, you know, I guess
some of them are activists
recording.
as well. I mean, you look at a guy like what Capadonna, for instance, what the Wu-Tang represented, you could see these guys were activists in a musical sense, because at the time of what was happening in the country or even in the world, they literally would spit that out. And I think that's what the importance of the culture is. It's because when you're an artist, you should represent exactly what's happening right now, because you know, people look for inspiration through you. So if you're saying, we at a party, we popping bottles, that means that's the mood. But you should also remember there's a guy who's saying, I live in a shack and I've got nothing to eat. You should also show that side as well.
Context is so very important. Thank you so very much, Osmek. Tickets, where do people sell? Buy, not sell, but buy. It's next week, Thursday, 27th of April. It's a big showdown all day. And it's people must just look for hashtag BTTC 2017.
And hashtag Cry Freedom.
Hashtag Cry Freedom.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, man, they can just go online for the tickets. We'll be selling at the gate. And remember, our line has like 3,000 people, so come early.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much. So, an arts curriculum with the power to ignite imagination and teach children how to map and manifest their dreams and goals. Now, this is the wonderful work done by the Lalela Arts Center and Innovation. Now, the organization conducts educational arts sessions in Maboneng, downtown Johannesburg, on a day-to-day basis for grade 6 to 12 learners from schools around Johannesburg CBD. So they've partnered with Constitution Hill for an exhibition that celebrates Freedom Month in South Africa. Amazing, must-see exhibition. It's titled We Are the Children, Our Hearts Beat. Take a look.
2017 marks the 21st year of the democratic South African Constitution, and what better way than celebrating and recognizing the month of freedom by having an exhibition by students in the Constitution Hill.
Con Hill thought it to collaborate with Lalela Arts Center because their work was aligned to our mandate, and then which is promoting the Constitution. And in our Constitution, we promote children's rights. And what Lalela was doing was looking at all this endangered youth around Hillbrow, Parktown, inner city Johannesburg. And then we thought what they were doing was amazing because they allowed the children to express their creative flair through making art.
We the Children, Our Hearts Beat is a reflection of the expressions and interpretations of the excerpts of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and personalization of freedom through multimedia by these students.
I have a talent of sketching, and what I like about it, I don't like to tell people my thoughts on my art. I like people to think of what they think about my art. I just want people to use their brains, be intelligent, be smart, and engage with me. Like, I want them to put themselves in my space to tell a story of me, but being them.
Most of the students that come to our program are not necessarily artists or are not necessarily looking to become artists, but we use art as a tool to then engage all the other areas in a child's life, and we connect the dots for them.
Simple elements is just to put what I feel inside on paper and to best describe it and put it down. Simply because I've gone through some examples or friends that had the same thing, and I was very sad, and I actually wanted to voice this out, and I saw that art is a way to voice my feelings out to others.
I am in an AIDS campaign at school, so I just thought of actions of parents and children. Children are mirroring their parents' actions, so they act what happens at home, the behavior that happens at home, they bring it out in the world to others.
The exhibition will be running until the 30th of April in the Women's Prison at the Constitution Hill.
Nice one. Now, Botswana, our neighboring country, recently hosted the 3rd annual Fashion Extravaganza, where the latest collections from upcoming, emerging and established designers across the continent were given a platform to showcase their work. Called Fashion Without Borders, the Fashion Expo was initiated by Congolese designer Serge Kabisoso.
This fashion event is slowly gaining popularity, and it is becoming the perfect launching pad for emerging fashion designers and models from across the African continent who aspire to make a name for themselves in the tough competitive world of fashion. Co-founder of Fashion Without Borders, Tebo Bakwena, tells us about the event.
Fashion Without Borders is basically an event that is trying to create a platform that is going to unearth talent that we have in Botswana, not only in Botswana, but all across Africa. We're not looking for your known designers or known models. We want talent that is not really seen when you go to your fashion weeks or your mini fashion weeks that you have. The idea is that if we don't create a platform for them, who does?
Various African cities have hosted this fashion extravaganza, and this year it was the turn for Gaborone to host 18 designers from that country, as well as designers from South Africa and other African countries.
Okay, this idea came in 2004 actually, and then in 2012 we put it into practice. It was all about helping new faces models and upcoming designers, giving them a platform of showcasing international platform. Because some of the designers and models, they could not have that kind of platform because of the way they look like, or they are short, or they are this, what they say, But we came up to say, no, we can give them the same kind of, VIP treatment and give them as well opportunity of showcasing their talent internationally and also having their talent as a business. That's what we did.
And here is what those who are crazy about the latest fashion trends thought of this event.
I'm very proud of them. I love the talent that's here, and I like the whole event and the way they put it together and the empowerment of the youth.
What inspired me is the fact that, I believe in modesty, and I believe that women should be modest in the way that they dress. I believe that more is actually the best. There's this common thing that says less is more. I don't really believe in that. I believe and I want to see more women express themselves in the way they dress in a modest way, you know what I mean?
It does not end when the curtain of the runway falls down, but this fashion extravaganza also encourages designers, especially those who are from disadvantaged backgrounds, to learn about different avenues where they could market as well as sell their designs.
So Eastern Cape-born artist Yanga has been doing the most in the industry since his arrival in Jozi in 2006. Now, he's worked his way up and done a lot. I mean, directed major music videos such as AKA's Run Jozi, JR's Bob Mabena, Questa's Boom Shakalaka, and Kid X's Cooler Bag, just to name a few. Now, he dropped an EP last year titled Touch is a Movie Episode 1. I don't know when Episode 2 is coming out, but I'll ask him that. And he's also just dropped the video for his latest hit single, Mdase. Mdase.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure, man, pleasure. And just earlier, I mean, should I call them stablemates? You've collaborated as well with Les and Gemini Major. You know, you guys are doing amazing, amazing work, and with the Hall of Fame mixtape. So congratulations on that too.
Thank
you.
So
a lot is popping off for you right now.
Thank you very
Tell
much.
us about Mdase, tell us about the video. Did you direct your own work? Or how does it kind of work now?
I did. I actually missed directing because I haven't had much time directing ever since I started just doing the music, you know.
Yeah.
So this was like my comeback video, and all of my videos are actually conceptualized by me, and
nice.
I sometimes get the chance to direct them as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. I mean, people who don't know the videos and who is behind, you know, the direction, amazing, amazing work that you've done for, you know, other very established artists in the industry.
Thank you.
That's cool. And you've been around since 2000, so it's over 10 years. You've been hustling, you've been slogging away. We're talking about Back to the City just now. You actually are also on the lineup with all the guys. And one of, you know, people who's been instrumental in just taking hip-hop to where it is in the industry as well is Slicker, who's been your mentor.
Yeah.
So is it a case of, it's almost like a brotherhood in terms of, you know, growing other up-and-coming hip-hop artists to get to the levels where you guys are now?
Yeah, I think he's one of the people that started with that culture, you know. I mean, back then when I looked around, there wasn't much of that going on, you know.
Yeah.
Even how I also started my relationship with him, you know, it was a case of people sending in demos and he was getting like 10 a day, you know. And I just said, yo, let's forget the music, let's do the business, you know, teach me how that works, you know.
Nice.
So this was always the plan, to focus on the music at some point. And he's very inspirational in that, and also starting my company as well, Young Legend Music. That's something I look forward to doing, and uplifting and giving someone else an opportunity.
Fantastic. Be a young legend.
Yeah.
And do it greatly. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
So Mdase, you're about to perform that. What is it about?
Mdase is actually a song that I wrote for my little sister.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I go home like every now and then.
Yeah.
So she's always hitting me up and asking me for things, you know.
Oh,
so
nice.
it was dedicated to her.
Okay, cool. Take it away, man. And all the best. And 27th of April, you're out at Back to the City.
Back to the City,
and people can just get a hold of you, Instagram, Twitter.
At It's Younger Chief, that's Twitter and Instagram.
Younger Chief.
Straight.
Nice
Please
one.
say the Chief.
Take it away from me. Bye, guys.
Wemtaseka senze man kazuvuka ndakala tekto yathanda undibuza na reply sendweni bansalatha senje banvalapha ithe wabalaba lemtaseka usenze man kazuvuka ndakala tekto yathanda undibuza na reply sendweni bansalatha senje banvalapha ithe wabalaba lemtaseka And I feel it next time usahlasela, and I love I feel it never banqed. Panamera another level can't get it. Panamera maka feel it times 10, and I feel it sometimes uyalahleka. Float manaka pindulu yakdeva. 2 times ayaktunuka meva. Show shine bazaskhumbula scan. I'ma be the way you need me, believe me. When you hear me on the beat, just repeat me.
cause I can do much more without you. Now my push out for my eye too. I remember way back in the crib, all my neighbors made racks for the kids, and we just try to do better. When I was proven, I am the second. Usenze mangazuvuka ngagala sekuya thandunbuza na reply